Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram.
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Srila Gurudev.
Haribol, 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 Haribol. Jai.
Jai.
Jai Gurudev.
Okay, Kishore Prabhu, we can conclude the kirtan.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna. Uh, we'll get Kishore Prabhu back. So thank you so much, Srila Gurudev. Thank you for being present here. We wish you a very happy Vyasa Puja, as well as on this Disciples Meet. We're more than happy to have you here. We would like to now kickstart the session, Srila Gurudev. We have the devotees who are assembled here from India, Nepal, Indonesia, Dubai, and of course, always there are some devotees from Russia and also some from South Africa. So there are devotees from everywhere, and we have been waiting for this day for a long time. Srila Gurudev, the brief agenda, I would like to just present it before you, but open to suggestions and change as you suggest. Srila Gurudev, Srila Gurudev, you want to say something? Sorry. Yeah, so Srila Gurudev, you're muted. So I wanted to say the agenda was we have His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu as well, who might give just a brief introduction of the Vyasa Puja. And then Srila Gurudev, it's up to you to speak for how much of a long time you want to speak. And then there are a set of devotees who have sent their video montage of their offerings, those who could not speak today, so that we could like to keep this event short and simple. And then we have a list of devotees who are ready with their offerings. So that's the brief agenda for today, Srila Gurudev.
Okay.
So now,
Go ahead.
okay, thank you, Srila Gurudev. Thank you for that permission. Now I would like to invite first His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu. First and foremost, Koti Koti Dandavats Hari Parshad Prabhu. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Hari Parshad Prabhu, just a brief introduction that I would like to give to the rest of the devotees, God brothers, God sisters. He's a Diksha disciple of His Holiness Vadana Govind Goswami Maharaj. He is an accomplished Sanskrit scholar. He has studied the Ashtadhyayi and completed translation of the commentary of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Manasiksha, and he's also a member of ISKCON's Shastrik Advisory Board. Of course, he's very dear to our Srila Gurudev, and he always assists our Srila Gurudev in many of the Shastrik works. So we are more than happy to have His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu amongst us. Prabhu, kindly excuse us for not providing you a garland and also a seat to welcome you on this pandemic, but please accept our virtual garlands and also our obeisances. And we would now request you to address us on the meaning of Vyasa Puja and also give a short description about it. Over to you, Hari Parshad Prabhu, as I spotlight you on the video screen. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, thank you so much, Haridas Varya Prabhu, for kindly inviting me to speak here today. Actually, I should also thank His Grace Shyam Govinda Prabhu for asking me to speak here today very kindly. So I'm thankful to all my dear friends who have kindly invited me here to speak. And a very, very happy Vyasa Puja to you, dear Sri Srimad Indradyumna Swami Maharaj. We are very happy and fortunate to have you in our lives. We are fortunate because we have joined International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We are more fortunate because we have Srila Prabhupada's books to guide us. But we are most fortunate because we have Prabhupada's disciples like your good self to always be there for us. Because your invaluable guidance, your very presence in our lives is what makes our connection to Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara very strong and rigid. So, yesterday was actually Vyasa Purnima, Guru Purnima. And since you are Anu Vyasa, you are following in the footsteps of Vyasadeva. So, today we are having Vyasa Puja for you today. And I would like to briefly speak upon the meaning and importance of celebrating Vyasa Puja. So I'd like to share my screen and I would like to speak something about Sri Vyasa Puja today here. So the entire event is named as Sri Vyasa Puja, when in fact it should be called Sri Guru Puja, because aren't we celebrating here the festival of Sri Guru's appearance? So why is it known as Sri Vyasa Puja? Because Sri Vyasadeva is the original guru of all the Vedic sampradayas, and in the footsteps of Sri Vyasadeva, all gurus are following and delivering the message of the Vedic literature. The meaning of the term Vyasa is to elaborate upon something, to expand something. There is an opposite term of Vyasa, it is called as Samasa. So Samasa means to contract something, to join something, but Vyasa means to elaborate upon something. And to elaborate upon what? To elaborate upon Vedic literature, to elaborate upon all the instructions given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the meaning of the term Vyasa. And any individual who is a perfect representative of Vyasa also gets the title of being Shri Vyasa. And that individual gets also to sit upon Shri Vyasadev's asan, which is known as Shri Vyas asan. So Shri Guru is for us Shri Vyasadev, and we give the Vyas asan to Shri Guru, and on the appearance day of Shri Guru we celebrate Shri Vyasa Puja, because the exact benediction that Shri Vyasadev has given for all of us, that exact same benediction is also given by Shri Guru to us. There is a very nice verse which Srila Prabhupada used to quote in many of his talks. This verse is from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, and this verse is as follows: Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite kathita hyartha prakashante mahatmanah. So this verse from Shvetashvatara Upanishad says, Yasya deve para bhaktir. For he who has para bhakti, pure devotion, unto Deva. Deva means unto Lord Shri Krishna. The one who has pure bhakti unto Shri Krishna. Yatha Deve, and just as one has pure devotion towards Krishna, Tatha Guru. Similarly, one has pure devotion towards Shri Guru. Tasya ete kathita hi artha prakashante mahatmana. So all the imports of the Vedic literature are revealed to such a personality automatically. So this is the translation that Srila Prabhupada gave to us. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master, are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. So there is a very nice pastime in Vedic literature about this particular verse and this particular Siddhanta. How is it that simply by serving the Guru, one gets all Vedic knowledge that is available? So there is a very nice pastime mentioned in the Mahabharata Adi Parva about how the mercy of the Guru can make somebody completely well versed in Vedic literature. So there is a pastime in Mahabharata of a boy named Aruni, and this boy was a brahmachari disciple of his guru. His guru's name was Dhaumya. So Dhaumya had many brahmachari disciples, but two of them were very particular in their natures. One of them was Upamanyu and one of them was Aruni. So Upamanyu, he was very learned, very scholarly. He memorized everything that the Guru told him to memorize. And so Dhaumya was pleased upon Upamanyu. And Dhaumya blessed him that whatever you have learned from me, you will always remember, you will become a nice Vedic sage. So Upamanyu was blessed by Dhaumya because he was good at learning. But then there was Aruni, and Aruni was not such a good student. Aruni was not good at learning, but he was very sincere at heart. So Dhaumya gave a service to Aruni. The service was to take care of the cows, to take care of the calves, and to take care of the agricultural fields around the ashram. So in this way, Dhaumya had two prominent disciples, Upamanyu and Aruni. And Upamanyu was always learning the Vedas, and Aruni was always taking care of Sri Guru's fields, his cows, etc. So many of the disciples thought that Upamanyu is the true recipient of Dhaumya's mercy. But on one particular day, it rained a lot, and it rained so much that the rivers started overflowing. When the rivers started overflowing, the canals and the embankments that were made in the fields, agricultural fields, those embankments, they started overflowing. And one of the embankments broke, and all the water from the river started coming inside the fields. So at that particular point of time, somebody came and informed Dhaumya that one of the embankment has broken and all the water is flowing inside the field. So Dhaumya was a bit concerned. So he immediately asked Aruni to go there and fix the embankment. When Aruni reached the embankment, he saw that the water was overflowing in such a way that he would have to immediately fix that, or else the entire water would ruin all the crops for the season. So what Aruni did was he tried to fix it by putting some mud in that place where the embankment had broken. But as soon as he would try to put some mud, immediately the flow of the river would wash away that mud. So Aruni tried a lot to fix it, but ultimately he could not fix it. Then Aruni thought, what should I do at this point of time? And there Dhaumya in his ashram was teaching Upamanyu and the other students. So it was evening time and Aruni did not return. Dhaumya became very concerned that my disciple Aruni has not returned. They waited till night, but Aruni was not back. And even at midnight, when Aruni did not come back, they all became worried that maybe something has happened to Aruni. So early morning, Dhaumya, along with all his disciples, including Upamanyu, went looking for Aroni. And when they went looking for Aroni in the morning, they saw Aroni. He was near the field and he had successfully protected the field from the overflowing water. What did Aroni do in order to protect the field? Dhaumya saw that Aroni himself was lying at that very place where the embankment had broken. And using his own body as protection from the overflowing water, Aroni had prevented the crops from being flooded. All the disciples saw that in the cold, chilly night, Aruni laid down in water in order to carry out the service of Sri Guru. At that time, Dhaumya was so pleased on Aruni that Dhaumya gave a benediction to Aruni that Aruni, from today onwards, all the meanings of the Vedas will become completely clear in your heart. No portion of the Veda will remain unknown to you. Simply by rendering this service to me, you have pleased me immensely. So, by this benediction, Aruni became the most learned disciple of Dhaumya. Although Upamanyu was very learned, but the most learned disciple of Dhaumya was Aruni. Aruni was so learned that his name is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam when the Rajasuya sacrifice of Maharaj Yudhishthir is mentioned. So, dear devotees, this is the importance of performing worship, performing puja of Sri Guru by carrying out all of his instructions through our mind, through our words, and if needed, like Aruni, through our entire body. So, dear devotees, on this day, let us pledge to serve Sri Gurudev in all these ways with all our heart. The Hari Bhakti Vilas very clearly says, Prathamam tu gurum pujya ततश्चैव ममार्चनं कुर्वन् सिद्धिम् अवाप्नोति ह्यन्यथा निष्फलं भवेत्. This is a statement by Krishna in the Hari Bhakti Vilas. One should worship me, Krishna, only after worshipping Sri Guru first. Kurvan siddhim avapnoti. By doing so, one obtains all success. Yanyatha nishphalam bhavet, or else everything turns into a grand failure. Dear devotees, the first worship should always be offered to Sri Guru, and one should never harbor any negative thoughts about Sri Guru, because sometimes some disciples harbor some doubts about Sri Guru. The Hari Bhakti Vilas says that irrespective of what is the nature of Sri Guru, we should always consider him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Hari Bhakti Vilas says, Avidyo va savidyo va gurureva janardana margastho vapya margastho gurureva sadagatihi. Avidyo va savidyo va. Whether the Guru is without knowledge or full of knowledge, like our Srila Indradyumna Swami Maharaj, he is full of the knowledge of pastimes of Vraja. He is full of the knowledge of pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, irrespective of the knowledge that Sri Guru has, Guru Reva Janardana, he is a representative of Lord Janardana. Margastho vapi amargastho. Whether Sri Guru appears to us to be on the correct path, margastho, va api amargastho, or the incorrect path. But still, we should never judge Sri Guru. We should always understand Guru Reva Sadagati. He is always our shelter. And finally, the Hari Bhakti Vilas also says, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwarah, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmat Sampujayet Sada. Guru Brahma. Shri Guru is a representative of Shri Brahma. Guru Vishnu. Shri Guru is a representative of Vishnu. Guru Devo Maheshwara. Shri Guru is a representative of Lord Maheshwara. Guru Eva Param Brahma, and Shri Guru is the Supreme Brahman, Bhagwan Shri Krishna himself, who has come to us in the form of his servant. Tasmat Sampujayet Sada. Therefore, on this day, and not only on this day, on each and every day, we offer all our respects and worship to Shri Guru. This verse is so important. My Guru Maharaj, Shri Srimad Radha Govinda Das Goswami Maharaj, when he met Srila Prabhupada first, Srila Prabhupada and him, they immediately developed a relationship of Guru and disciple. And my Guru Maharaj used to always address Srila Prabhupada as Guru Bhagwan. So my Guru Maharaj always used to call Prabhupada as Bhagwan. Hey Bhagwan. So he always used to call Prabhupada as Bhagwan, as the Supreme Lord himself who has come in the form of his servant. So today we are blessed to have Shri Guru manifest in front of us as Srila Indradyumna Swami Maharaj. His very name is so special. Prabhupada gave him such a special name. Indradyumna. Indra iva dyumnam yasya. Whose dyumna, whose power is equivalent only to Indra. Because in the entire heavenly planets, there is nobody as powerful as Shri Indra. Or whose dyumna, whose wealth of knowledge is equivalent only to Indra. So there is no personality equivalent to Indra in the heavenly planets. Similarly, there is no personality equivalent to Sri Indradyumna Swami Maharaj. When it comes to spreading the glories of holy name, when it comes to preaching in the battlefield of the material world. So dear devotees, today is our opportunity to glorify such a wonderful personality who has so mercifully appeared in our lives with all sincerity in our hearts, without any duplicity. Today is the time to glorify Sri Srimad Indradyumna Swami Maharaj. Maharaj, I am personally so thankful to Bhagavan that you have been sent in our lives. I am very thankful that you have given such nice nectarian Krishna Katha to all of your disciples in the past year. All of us, not only disciples, but all of us admirers and followers of you have benefited so much from your Krishna Katha, and we sincerely hope that Srila Prabhupada blesses us with many, many more decades of your association. We want to see you always healthy. We want to see you amongst us, and we want to celebrate many more Vyasa Pujas each and every year, so that we all can be so happy hearing your Harikatha. We all can remain inspired. Please keep your blessings upon all of us, especially this, fallen person Hari Parshad Das, so that I too will be able to serve the Guru Parampara just as you have served. If I can get even a small percentage of the preaching capability that you have gotten by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, I'll consider myself to be very fortunate. So Maharaj, today is the Vyasa Puja day. Today you have to be merciful upon us. You cannot say no to us. We are all your children. So please don't say no to us today. We have come to you with so many desires. Please fulfill all of our desires, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu. That was sweet nectarian churning. Thank you very much for filling our hearts with nectar. When it comes to filling nectar, now we look upon to churn it more to Srila Gurudev. Over to you, Srila Gurudev, to give your inaugural address and to kickstart this disciples meet. Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale, Shunyamate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pacharine, Nivishesha Shunyavadi Paschatade Satane. I'd like to thank Hari Parsha Prabhu for that very beautiful illumination on the meaning of Vyasa Puja. Several times he remarked about my knowledge that I'm presenting in my weekly classes over the last year and a half. But truth be told, a lot of it comes from him. And I'm not embarrassed to say that, because I heard Prabhupada say one time in Mayapur that knowledge means to know where to find it. And all of us actually have the same source of knowledge in Krishna consciousness, the deep well of transcendental knowledge, and it really just depends on how eager you are to drink that knowledge. That's why Prabhupada was always encouraging his disciples to read his books, which you could say are a proper summary of all the Vedic scriptures. If we were to read all the Vedic scriptures, which we couldn't in one lifetime, but if we could, we would be very surprised, or not surprised, but grateful to know that all that knowledge is there in an appropriate presentation for us in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness to reach perfection. Everything is there. I've been saying that for years, but during the last 18 months, I've been, you could say, forced to go deep into the Shastras. And it only confirms to me more and more that whatever I read there, save and except a few pastimes, but Prabhupada was on a mission. He had to accomplish everything very quickly, so not every pastime that we're discussing is there, but it's in our Bhakti Shastras. But the essence of everything is there in Prabhupada's books. And when we have devotees like Hari Parsha Prabhu who are expert at milking those books and their corollaries, the writings of Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Kaviraj Goswami, etc. They can bring that knowledge in to simply support and illuminate on what Prabhupada has given us. We're very, very fortunate. So don't give me any credit at all. What do I know? I'm just like the parrot who's repeating. The parrot can say the same thing as his master, the owner, but there's a difference between the parrot and the person who owns the parrot, the master. So my presentation, I feel it's more parrot-like. I'm always telling everyone around me there's many other devotees who should be speaking on this on these matters. So, but at the same time, I'm very glad I have this opportunity, because it's very purifying for me. It's very purifying for me, and I try to share that good fortune, especially with my disciples. I never had this opportunity before, because I was busy as a bee since I put my first foot in the temple. I was busy as a bee just distributing Krishna consciousness, distributing Srila Prabhupada, his knowledge and that of our acharyas. I've said several times that Govinda Maharaj said kind of humorously, Indraduna Maharaj, we spent 10 years in the temple, 40 years on the road, so we can spend, some of our old age in studying the Bhakti Shastras. And I've always understood the spiritual mathematics that you cannot keep this knowledge, what to speak of realize this knowledge, unless you distribute it. It's not ours to own, it's ours to show to the world. Like when I was a boy in school, we had a little program when I was in 4th grade. It was called Show and Tell. Show and Tell. It's for children to gain their self-confidence and learn how to associate with others in public. So you would go home and you bring something from your home and stand in front of the class and you tell about it. So Krishna consciousness is show and tell. We get this kripa, we get this unfathomable mercy. Unfathomable mercy. And then we share it with others. And in that way, we realize it by the mercy of Guru and Guranga. So it's been my good fortune that I've been able to share this knowledge, but whatever I know, I'll tell you all my secrets now, because I'm not supposed to have secrets. Whatever I need to actually deeply understand, or if I have some questions, then, you know, I must have called Hari Parshad at least 6 million times. And other godbrothers as well. His Holiness Shivaram Maharaj and so many others. So this is a team effort, actually. The world has 7 billion, whatever, 2 million inhabitants. So only Srila Prabhupada was capable of delivering the whole world, but he left us the service to do. I heard Prabhupada say one time that Lord Brahma can create a universe, but a Mahapurusha, pure devotee of Krishna, can deliver an entire universe. Like Mahaprabhu, he could have delivered the entire creation, but we're always begging to him. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakti. Or Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Give me service, give me service, give me service, give me service. So what we're doing practically in this world, birth and death, we're liberating ourselves. We have our sadhana. But we're in the mood of Prahlad Maharaj, who was not satisfied, with all due respect, because I respect all classes of transcendentalists in the sense that they know the temporary, miserable nature of this world, and they're trying to get out by living a transcendental life. So I see the good in all transcendentalists. Although I've chosen the Panamatin, still, I see that we have been given this ultimate chance of Krishna consciousness. So we're very, very grateful to Srila Prabhupada. And we are duty-bound to distribute that knowledge according to our level of Krishna consciousness and according to our needs. Because Prabhupada could have done it, I have that fixed. Mahaprabhu could have done it, Prabhupada could have done it. What he did is a miracle which is still being processed by scholars. Prabhupada said one time, scholars will note how one day this Hare Krishna movement saved the world in its darkest hour. So we're always begging service from our Guru. Tadvidi paripatena paripashana sevaya upadikshanti tegyanam gyananish tattva darshanaha. You try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Paripashana, you inquire from him, but inquiry is not enough. Sevaya. By inquiry, you get the knowledge. But through seva, you get the vigyan. What are our puny efforts to, be perfect sadhakas? Most of us are products of this age. Kalo Shuddha Sambhavan. We're trying our best. But really, that's our foundation, but our real deliverance is Guru Kripa. That's what connects us to the incarnation of mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who connects us to Radhesham. We cannot understand Radha and Krishna without the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he's the Yuga avatar. Prabhupada, so when many instructions are given, the last instruction is the most important. So many incarnations have come, but the present incarnation, giving the final instruction at the final age called Yuga, is most important. So we cannot understand Radha and Krishna without the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And really we cannot fathom the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And how do we get the mercy of Lord Nityananda? What pleases Nitai the most? What did he do? What gave him pleasure in this world of birth and death? Why did he come? To deliver his fallen sons and daughters. So he took great pleasure going out with Haridas Thakur, door to door, and preaching Krishna consciousness. So like father, like son, like father, like daughter. Nitai was to go door to door. And who did he go to preach to? Mahaprabhu, he preached to the intelligentsia, the bourgeois of Vedic culture, great scholars, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He was the chief pandit in Jagannath Puri. Maharaj Patapurud, he was a king, but he elevated personality. Mahaprabhu instructed Srila Sanatana Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami. He established Krishna consciousness at that level of society because that's essential. But what about the mass of people? That was Nitai. Nitai Kripa. So if we want the mercy of Nitai, we have to go out and preach to Jagai and Madai. And that way, all teachings that Prabhupada has given us, the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Gokishwardas Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Jagannath Das Babaji, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Rup Sanatan, Shad Goswamis. If we want that Kripa now, then we serve the mission that they served. They established the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Western countries in the sense that they left Bengal and they went west. How far did they get? They got to Vrindavan. But their vision was farther than Vrindavan. Their vision was Mahaprabhu's vision. And what was Mahaprabhu's vision? Every town and village. And if you really want to break that down, that meant every house, every room, and every person's heart. That was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if we serve the mission of Mahaprabhu specifically, the mission of the Goswamis, the mission, the Gaudiya Vaishnava mission, with all its compartments and sevites and services. Gaudiya Vaishnavism is very broad. And at the present moment, there's other Gaudiya missions which are preaching, and we should not have any hesitation to acknowledge that, to glorify them. Anyone who's telling someone, chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. We take the dust of that person's feet and we put it on our head. We're not sectarian. Mahaprabhu's movement is not sectarian. We have our Gana, we have our group, we're proud of that. But we acknowledge the efforts of anyone to spread the Yuga Dharma around the world. But we are ISKCON and we are Prabhupada men. And that is, we consider that our great fortune. And right now is a time for reflecting on our good fortune and taking advantage of it. It's very vast. It's deity worship. It's parikama of the holy dhams. It's learning the culinary arts of preparing, offering, serving, and accepting prasad. It's a science, actually. It includes honoring and serving Vaishnavas. It's very vast. But really, Kali Kali Nam Rup Krishna Avatar. Kali Kali Nam Rup Krishna Avatar. In the age of Kali, the sound incarnation of Krishna's name is the Yuga Dharma. Is Krishna. He's come in the form of his holy name. Namachintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. So we have to cultivate our relationship with the holy name, Sri Nam Prabhu, without committing offenses. And as Cheto Dharpanam Arjanam, our hearts become purified, our material desires are uprooted and thrown to another dimension. And that golden seed of bhakti that's in the heart, it become nourished by Mahamantra, and it grows, it becomes a seedling, then it becomes a small vine, becomes a plant, and it continues growing, breaks through the coverings of the material world. It very quickly goes through the Vaikuntha planets, because it goes to Golok, the planet of cows, according to Jiva Goswami. And that creeper of bhakti, it wraps around the lotus feet of Radhesham and produces the fruits of love of Godhead. And that's our eternal abode. That's where we're meant to be, and that's where we want to be. And we have to have a very lowly, a very strong desire to go there. And that will come as you make progress, you lose interest in this world. And the Guru, the spiritual world, slowly becomes revealed. So I've been very fortunate to been forced, you could say, by the Corona Sura, the coronavirus, to be here. But I take it in a deeper way. I understand that probably Mahaprabhu has placed myself and different God brothers and God sisters in different parts of the world in different situations so that we can deepen our Krishna consciousness. And when the Asura is killed, Krishna is the killer of demons. When he kills the Asura of Corona, then there'll be a Hare Krishna explosion. Paramvijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtan. We were just watching a video of the Polski tour here. And I was on the verge of tears. I was thinking, that's where I want to be. I want to be back on the streets, back on the battlefield of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, spreading. But that's all up to Krishna. So if I'm here now, it's also by his desire. I consider like Vrindavan to be my home. I don't think that's a secret. I'm not qualified to be in Vrindavan, but I'm not qualified to do anything really devotional except by Prabhupada's mercy. That one thing I've fully realized. So this is my home, but nobody stays in their home all the time. In this world, you don't stay in your home all the time. You go home to get a rest, some food, some nourishment, some association with your family members, but you don't stay. Next morning, 8 o'clock, you're out. That's life. That's human nature. That's the society. You go out. You work or you play, you do whatever you do. So Vrindavan's my home, but I'm always thinking when can I get out and go back on the battlefield? That's my dharma. I was trained like that to be a soldier. When I was in the military, it was a very mundane experience, but I learned cleanliness, discipline, respect for authority, following orders on the basis of whatever the doctrine was, and fighting the enemy. So all those things are applicable in Krishna consciousness. I sometimes think maybe Krishna put me through that experience or just took advantage of that experience. So I'm waiting patiently, still going deeper into the scriptures and saying a few things twice a week, but I look for that opportunity to go out again. And when you go out in the world from your home, you're mostly surrounded by strangers. When you're home, You know, you're with your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your wife, your children. But as soon as you step out the door, you're in stranger land. It's strange, and it's uncomfortable to be with strangers. It's uncomfortable to be with strangers, but not for devotees. Vidya vinaya sampane vihastani sunichara panditas upadarshana. The basic lesson in Bhagavad Gita, we see everybody equal. We don't see the body, the color of the skin, the language, the country. Jiver Supoya Krishnara Nityadas. Everyone is brother or sister. So we walk out the door, we still feel we're at home. And just as you would help your brother or your sister if they were injured, because blood is thicker than water, the attachment to family is stronger than the attachment to any other creature in this world. But Vaishnavas, just see the heart, the mind of a Vaishnava. Wherever he goes, he sees brother, he sees sister. Culturally many, spiritually one. That's ISKCON. We recognize this the cultural diversity. It's interesting when you travel. What if it was all the same? It would be boring. There's a recent song came out, Jerusalem, by the Zulu people. Some Zulu singer. He sang this, how Jerusalem is his home and Jerusalem give mercy. And now one of the fads in society is you take a particular song and then everybody does a little characters of it, or a dance or something. So now all over the world, people are taking that song, that Zulu song, and they're dancing to it, and they put it on YouTube. And I saw yesterday that the Hungarian devotees, the Budapest devotees, and the devotees at New Brajadam, their farm, they did a very beautiful dance routine. It looked like the Polski tour in some ways. So there's Zulu culture and there's French culture. You know, this is okay. It makes traveling, I'll just be honest, a little interesting. But the real reason we travel is not to be footloose and fancy free, to be tourists. The tourists in what? A tourist in the world of birth and death? Really? It's like watching a horror movie. Who in their right mind wants to go and pay money to watch a horror movie? So who wants to travel in this world and see different demarcations and varieties of birth, disease, old age, and death? Oh, Maharaj, that's too heavy. Okay, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. That's a little bit lighter. You're going to travel to see how someone eats or sleeps or mates or defends. We don't travel as tourists in this world. We're finished. We're traveling back home, back to Godhead. So when we travel, we have that vision of unity, that everyone's brother, everyone's sister. Prabhupada said, United Nations of the spiritual world, on earth as it is in heaven. That's the Holy Bible. By following Jesus, you make heaven on earth. You follow the Christian tradition, same. You can be aloof from the effect of the material energy and hope you're going to make it back home, back to the spiritual world. So on earth as it is in heaven, that's Krishna consciousness. And that's what people are looking for, because the soul is immortal. The soul wants a life of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Where are you going to find it here in this world? You won't find it. But if you meet sadhus, Vaishnavi sadhus, if you go to the temple, if you come to Braj, you come to Mayapur, you go to Puri, you go to Ayodhya. India's full of places. You can just, if you want to be a tourist, come to India. You can do your tourism here and you'll get a spiritual experience, then you'll become a Krishna Bhakta. So that day will come again. Nothing lasts forever in this world. They say history repeats itself. There was the Spanish flu a century ago, it killed millions of people. It seemed like it was going to last forever. As soon as Mother Earth feels purified due to the sinful activities that are being performed on her body, abortion, cow slaughter, promiscuous sexual activities, intoxication, drugs, When the reaction to all that's gone, then we'll burst out of our little apartments, burst out of our homes, burst out of our temples. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Yadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan Hey Girirhari Gopinath. You'll see the devotees on every street. People go, what is this? This is so attractive. You people seem so happy after the pandemic. What is this? They'll inquire sincerely, and we'll be more purified of heart. And then the magic of Krishna consciousness will happen. We have to all hope to live that long, but even if we don't, we can be reborn. We don't mind being reborn if we can be reborn on heaven on earth. If we can be reborn in the house of a Vaishnava, even as an insect. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I would rather take birth in the house of a Vaishnava as an insect than to be Lord Brahma, non-devotee Brahma. As long as we're connected to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Radhesham, Vrindavan, Mayapur, but even more important, as long as we're connected to Prabhupada. He's our connection. He's the be-all and end-all of our existence. He's everything to us. So that's the only prayer. You were supposed to think of something transcendental when we die. Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam tiyan chitiyanta kalevaram. We're taught to who gave us the name? Who is teaching us the name? Who will give us the goal of the name? It's Prabhupada. So in my mind, remember my spiritual master. Wherever he is, that's where I will go. Wherever my master is, he is my servant. He has brought me all this great fortune. I can't even fathom I can't fathom one syllable of the Maha Mantra. One bite of a gulab jam, I still haven't realized what it is. So I need his mercy eternally, in this world and that world. So when I leave, I'll think, Prabhupada. Wherever he is, there I will serve him. For me, that's Vaikuntha, that's the place where there's no material miseries. And that is the place where my heart is, because Prabhupada is Brajabasi. He's a Brajabasi. No one can deny that. So all good fortune comes from serving Guru and Gauranga. And I'm just a little servant, a little clog in this machine of the Sankirtan movement. But I'm very happy being running that little service to Srila Prabhupada. And some of you have come to me to be connected to Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu and Radhesham, Giriraj, Yamuna Devi, Sevakund, Radhakund, Shamakund. It's all coming down through Guru Parampara. So I will try my best. I won't say I'll try my best. I will bring everybody, like a group, to Srila Prabhupada. Like in the old days, Prabhupada would come to the temple president would introduce all the devotees. Well, Prabhupada, this is the cook, and this devotee. So my duty is to bring you to he who at whose feet all masters sit, Srila Prabhupada. I think my greatest pleasure will be, dear Srila Prabhupada, this is your daughter, this is your son, we're all your followers, and I can introduce you. That will be the perfection of my life. And the good news is that we're going to always be together. Prabhupada said we'll have our ISKCON in the spiritual sky. So there's nothing to lament. There's nothing to become depressed about. There's nothing to worry, no anxiety. We just have to tolerate. We're here, and Mahaprabhu talked a lot about tolerance. We have to tolerate this world, not tolerate Krishna consciousness. It's all bliss. If there's a problem, it's not because of the movement. It's because of some impurities in our hearts. We should relish this process, and we should be determined to distribute it to others. And in that way, we'll always be above the modes of nature, Suddha Sattva, unaffected, and we can go on. We hope that all of you live long lives and continue to share Krishna consciousness with others, because there's nothing in this world like this wonderful international society for Krishna consciousness. So I'm taking too much time, but I'm getting back into, I'm doing a lot of lectures today because, or these last few weeks, I've been online a lot, but I got to give a lecture at the temple. That was like, wow, I'm back. I play my harmonium again, sing again, dance again. I did a house program the other day. There were 5 people there. I give a 5-hour lecture. So I'm getting a taste back. And I'm just waiting for Mahaprabhu to blast open the doors and be part of that next Hare Krishna explosion with all of you. No leadership doesn't mean anything unless you have followers who you can engage in a wonderful way. So let's work together this next year and many years to come in serving Srila Prabhupada and the movement. So Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON movement ki, back home, back to Godhead. Take as many people, if not everybody, with us ki. Oh Premanandi, Jai Jai Sisi Radhe, Shyam Shyam Shyam. Now you can all talk. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Srila Gurudev. That was so enlightening to hear from you, and also get the assurance we'll be all together for many years to come, birth after birth, even in the spiritual sky. That's so assuring on this day, and thank you for showering us on that benediction. Srila Gurudev, we would, with your permission, we would go ahead with this program. And now we have a lot of devotees who couldn't fit into this space of offerings due to the constrictions of time, but they have sent their short 15 seconds video montage, this is like a power-packed reel all put together. So our His Grace Ananta Vrindavan Prabhu in Brisbane has again done the magic. He has spun his magic wand and he has edited all those videos together. So over to you, Ananta Vrindavan Prabhu, to just showcase us those offerings.
Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble, respectful obeisances unto your divine lotus feet. Wishing a happy 72nd Apprentice Day to you from your spiritual son, Mathura Jivan Das, from ISKCON Nepal, Pokhara. And thank you so much, Srila Gurudev, for showering your blessing from deep in Ovinar, even on this pandemic situation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please kindly accept my humble obeisances. My name is Sanjaya Bhaskara from Indonesia, your aspiring disciple. I would like to say Happy Vyasa Puja to you and wishing you always in good health and can lead us in spiritual service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev, happy birthday. I wish you lots of strength and health because you're doing hard job to take us out from material existence. This is Sundari Gopika Devidasi from Jagannath Puri, where we're waiting for you. Our house is your house. Please come as soon as it will be available.
Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances and wish you a very happy Krishna conscious birthday from your aspiring spiritual son Ayush Dubey from Chinwala, Madhya Pradesh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. This is Subal Sakadas from ISKCON Bareilly. I wish you a very happy birthday.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, ISKCON Bareilly wishes you happy Varas.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Please accept my most humble obeisances at your lotus feet. This is Pratap, your aspiring spiritual son from Bombay. I pray at the lotus feet of Shri Radha Govinda Dev and Shri Narsingha Dev to always keep you protected. Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev ki jai.
Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev. We wish you very happy Vyasa Puja greetings from your disciples, Gaurajan Das and Dulali Gopika Devidasi, Kathmandu, Nepal. We eagerly wait to meet you, Srila Gurudev, All glories to Srila Gurudev. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisances unto you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. Wishing you a happy Vyasa Puja from your spiritual daughter Radha Vinodasi, Kathmandu, Nepal. Thank you so much for your enlivening classes, prayers and blessings. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. Wishing you a very happy appearance day from me and my family members. Thank you for your constant love and blessings in my life. Especially thank you for being my spiritual powerhouse. Your spiritual daughter from Kathmandu, Manjari Sundari Dasi.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Srila Gurudev. Happy birthday to you. Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev. Wishing you a very happy birthday from your spiritual daughter Gopastami Priyadasi from Pokhara, Nepal.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. I'm Sri Narayani from Indonesia and I'm your aspiring disciple. I would like to say Happy Vyasa Puja Guru Maharaj and wish you always in good health and please lead me in this Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev. I am Anshuman Dubey from Shingara, Madhya Pradesh, India. And I offer my humble offering at your lotus feet. Dear Srila Gurudev, on this auspicious day of your Vyasa Puja, I pray to Lord Narasimha for your good health and your long life. Dear Srila Gurudev, your ocean of mercy, give me one drop of your mercy.
Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudeva. Happy Vyasa Puja. Lord Narasimha loves you so much.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Wish you very happy birthday. Please keep your blessings on us.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. I wish you a very happy 72nd Vyasa Puja celebration. Please bestow your choicest mercy on us and please bless us. I express my heartfelt gratitude unto your lotus feet, Srila Gurudev. For many years to come, I wish all the best health for your own self. Please keep us inspiring, Srila Gurudev. Your insignificant servant, Nishkinchan Swarup Das. Please accept my humble offering unto your lotus feet, Srila Gurudev. Jai Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev.
नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में सुंदर बाला शची दुलारा नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में भारी चंदन तिलक मनोहर भारी चंदन तिलक मनोहर अलका शोभ कपूरन में सुंदर बाला शची दुलारा नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन श्री चूड़ा दर्शी वाले वन फूल माला हिया पर दोले वन फूल माला हिया पर दोले कहीं गड़ा पीत पशांबर शोभे नुपुर रोलो चरणों में सुंदर बाला शची दुलारा नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन राधा कृष्ण एक तनु है राधा कृष्ण एक तनु है मिथुन नाचे बंशी बजाए राधा कृष्ण राधा कृष्ण एक तनु है मिथुन नाचे बंसी बजाए विष्णु की प्रभु जिसकी आवत प्रकट ही नदिया में सुंदर माला शची दुलारा
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Happy Vyasa Puja. We are so grateful for all that you do for us.
We cannot imagine our lives without you.
Please bless us that we can imbibe your mood, become very good disciples.
And serve you eternally in the movement of Srila Prabhupada.
We love you so much and we can't wait to meet you soon. From Madan Mohan Mohini
and Chakori Radha Dasi.
Gurudev, this is
Aditri
this is and this is Vijay Narasimha Das from Bangalore wishing you a very very happy birthday.
birthday, Maharaj. Happy birthday, Maharaj. Happy birthday, Maharaj. Happy birthday, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Srila Gurudev. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Srila Gurudev.
Happy Vyasa Puja, Srila Gurudev. Hope you're keeping very well in the mountains of Maharashtra. We're missing you a lot here in Vrindavan, and I cannot wait for you to be back here again and to be able to assist in serving you. Thank you so much for your amazing classes every 3 days. Hare Krishna.
Happy birthday, Srila Gurudev.
Happy birthday, Srila Gurudev.
May Lord Narasimha Dev give you long life. May Radha Madhav Gaur Nitai give you long life. And please give us intelligence so that we can serve you better way. Your servant Rasa Rasika Das and family.
Krishna Srila Gurudev, Hare Krishna. Wish you a very, very happy Vyasa Puja. I wish you a very healthy, long life, and I wish that for years and years and years to come, you bless us with your nectarian lectures and shower us all the love that you have been showering to all the disciples around the world. I wish you once again a very happy Vyasa Puja. Hare Krishna. Haridas Varyadas and Vaishnavi Haripriya from Mumbai. I think that was the video montage from all the devotees across India, Nepal, Indonesia. Srila Gurudev, with your permission, now we may call upon speakers to speak and give their offerings, those who couldn't make it to the video montage. We have tried to keep them short. We understand your time commitments as well. So I would request all the devotees who are presenting their offerings to keep it brief within 3 minutes, and would start that right now with your permission, Srila Gurudev. Can we go ahead? Srila Gurudev, with your permission, shall we go ahead with the offerings? Yes, okay. So I would request first Sundar Shekhar Prabhu from Bangalore to step up, unmute yourself, and be on the offering and provide your offering.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present my offering. I might be a little under pressure after seeing those wonderful videos and being the first speaker, but I'm going to try my sincere efforts. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you. Srila Gurudev, we're extremely fortunate to be able to interact with you on your Vyasa Puja and coincidentally on this special occasion of Guru Purnima as well. I would also like to thank you for taking your precious time out for us, even after you just went through a medical procedure recently, and how glad we are that it wasn't anything concerning. Dear Srila Gurudev, words cannot do enough justice to appreciate your qualities and glories, but I will try to put them into some. Even after so many years, you are still inquisitive about the Dham, and it just goes on to say so much about the Dham. You still put so much efforts into looking for new places within Vraj so that we can have the great fortune to experience the pastime of that particular place. And you also present us with new facts and revelations about a place we may have visited already multiple times. Srila Gurudev, your creativity and the innovation and in the way you preach is really inspiring. I mean, who would have thought about going to a rock festival, setting up camp over there and preaching to thousands, or who would be even brave enough to preach in a war-torn area around the world? Yet you have always found a way, whether it be through enthusiastic harinams, organizing retreats and festivals, or taking on the government of a country itself, you always find a way to follow your spiritual master's instructions to spread the holy name and preach. This is a great lesson for us too. That is, no matter what, follow your spiritual master's instructions. There is no doubt in my mind that you are an exemplary for all of us, especially we, the future. Srila Gurudev, I firsthand got to witness the Rishikesh Kirtan Festival last year for a few days and was looking forward to it this year, hopefully as well, but I guess Krishna had other plans. I could see for myself the lasting impact you left in people who attended. I really miss your association and following you blindly during the Kartik Parikrama like a dog. All I can hope for is I get to do that as soon as possible. Srila Gurudev, also with your mercy, I have started my master's program in the university I had desired. And there are a lot of lessons for me to learn from you in this new journey of mine as well. The course I'll be doing requires me to do a lot of research work. And who is a better example than you? The way you go in depth in one particular topic and do a very detail-oriented research in one particular aspect of that topic and present it to us is something I intend to imbibe from you. Another important point I'll have to make sure is I do a lot of networking, and there's something to learn from you here as well. I mean, the vast and incredible network that you have built over the years and continue to build, whether it be with devotees within our movement, politicians and celebrities around the globe, or even spiritual leaders around the world, is an important lesson to learn. Srila Gurudev, I would take one more moment. I had brought this up last year as well, but would like to do it again. I would just like to reflect back on one of the encounters I had with you. I was fortunate enough to attend the Gurukul in Vrindavan for a couple of years. I remember it was an Ekadashi, and on every Ekadashi, me and a few boys traditionally did a Vrindavan Parikrama. We used to start from the tiny lane that goes to the Krishna Balaram temple in the Parikrama Marg, a few meters behind your residence, or to be precise, Dhanuka Ashram, and naturally end our Parikrama there. It was, just one of those days, and we were concluding a Parikrama. I was offering a Dandavat to conclude our Parikrama on that very spot. And since I was a little tired, hungry, and thirsty altogether, it was an oddly long Dandavat. This is literally a fairy tale story, but when I was getting up after offering my Dandavat, I saw this effulgent personality walking towards me in saffron robes. My vision was blurred, but as and when you came closer towards me, the blurriness also started to clear out, and there was you. All this was while I was getting up from my Dandavat. I offered a Dandavat to you again, and even though you did not tell me anything, you gave me that smile of yours and nodded your head. Although we had interacted previously, that moment right then was enough for me to consider you as my guru, excluding the countless glories and qualities you possess. It is my most treasured encounter with you, and I can safely say that encounter was a life-changing experience for me. With this, I would like to conclude my offering, and I remain forever indebted to you for accepting me as your disciple. I also ask for your blessings so that I can become a better disciple and devotee and have more faith in the holy name. Hare Krishna, thanking you, your servant Sundar Shekhar Das.
Thank you, Sundar Shekhar Prabhu. Now I request next Anand Sesh Prabhu from Mayapur to present his offering.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. Dear Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances at the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Gurudev, I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to you for all those things you have given me out of your causeless mercy. Last year has been important for making so many spiritual achievements that may be so pleasing to you, so which I would like to narrate here. So as the pandemic was growing and the lockdown started, there were so many programs online flooded by wonderful arrangement of all devotees all around the world, like a Holy Name Festival, Books Are the Basis, interviews by Education Ministry, Shravanotsav Festival, Brajmandal Parikrama, Tirthyatra series by ISKCON Chowpatty, online classes and webinars by Your Holiness. Despite there was an impact on the financial situation and job situations, we were able to maintain a strong hearing and reading of Srila Prabhupada books. I could complete all the medium books and Bhagavad Gita and first canto and now second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and I started third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam now. It was such a miracle because for last so many years, every time after coming from the office, I used to read Prabhupada books. After one line, two line, I used to fall asleep. But this pandemic, during this lockdown situation, it helped me so much that I was able to complete so many of Prabhupada's books. And also it is by your divine blessings, Srila Gurudev, that I got service to serving Sri Panchatattva in the altar. So every day where I get the opportunity to keep my head on the lotus feet of all the Panchatattva, it was such an immense joy serving the Lord and so many wonderful realizations. I feel highly indebted to you for giving this entrance into serving the Lord Panchatattva. Also, last year, it has been such a disastrous for all the devotees across the world, losing such wonderful devotees like His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj and His Grace Pankajangri Prabhu. And when these devotees, they left their body, we were hearing their glories, and for so many months we were hearing their Bhagavatam classes, and we were hearing the offerings of so many wonderful devotees across the world, and we could experience that pain of losing such wonderful devotees. And after the whole event was over, and when now we were reflecting on the painful experience, we were feeling that the whole experience of feeling separation and experiencing the pain from separation from these devotees gave us a glimpse of the pain of separation of the great devotees. And when we look back into the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that how did Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada's disciples, like all of you must have felt when Prabhupada left this planet, and how did Srila Prabhupada felt when his spiritual master left this planet, and how did His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada must have felt when his dear father Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur left this world, and how did Srila Narottam Das Thakur must have really felt when his dearmost associates Srila Srinivasa Acharya and Srila Ramachandra Kaviraj left this planet, and there were the great feelingly bhajan Jai Anilo Premadana manifested. And how did the devotees must have felt when each members of Panchatattva winded up their pastimes on the planet? How did each devotee must have felt when one by one each of the associates of Mahaprabhu were leaving? How did Pandavas and the queens of Dwarkas and the other devotees around must have felt when Lord Krishna left this planet? And now we get a glimpse of what would have been the pain of gopis when the Lord left the Vrindavan. Although with no qualification, just due to our connection with this great movement, we can experience a glimpse of these highest spiritual emotions of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, which is Vipralamba Bhav, by the causeless mercy of Your Holiness and Srila Prabhupada. Gurudev, my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to you for anchoring me to this great parampara. Gurudev, by your blessings and unlimited mercy, We have now entered into the 6th year of our stay in Sri Navadvip Dham, serving Sri Mayapur Dham. We desire to keep serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his servants until the last breath of our lives here in Sri Navadvip Dham. Gurudev, please give us the strength and bless us and empower us to emerge victorious in our struggle with our mind and senses and our own anarthas, influence of Maya, various offenses. May our words, thoughts, and actions be pleasing to you and Srila Prabhupada. Please bless us, empower us, Gurudev. May we not act whimsically and act in a way pleasing to you and Srila Prabhupada. May we develop Guru Nishtha and become free from all anarthas and become qualified to serve you with a pure heart. We are grateful to you, Gurudev, for your association through all these wonderful webinars, which gave us entrance into Sri Vrindavan Dham. It has helped us immensely to develop our appreciation for Sri Vrindavan Dham, especially through all your webinars. Even the words fall short to describe the good fortune that we have received and are receiving from you, Gurudev. We pray to Shri Shri Radha Madhav, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Narsingadev, and Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra to bless you and protect you always with good health and long life to serve Srila Prabhupada. Your most unqualified servants, Ananta Shesh Das and Manohar Nipriya Devi Dasi from Sridham Mayapur.
Thank you very much, Anant Shesh Prabhu, for that heartfelt offering. I would now request Nishkinchan Swarup Prabhu to come up and provide this offering.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev, please accept her humble, another pranams, please accept this humble garland, Srila Gurudev. Srila Gurudev, we have made this cake for you. Srila Gurudev, please accept this wonderful cake from all the Gurukulis. Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble and the pranam at your lotus feet for all the fortunes gathered together from past 1000 lives. Having an humble opportunity to express my heart unto your lotus feet is on this day, and it's sacred and of greatest of all importance. I would like to quote something from Ramayana, from the Mangala Charana. Bandhu Guru Pada Padama Paraga Suruchi Subasa Sarasanuraga Amiya Murimaya Churana Charu Samana Sakala Bhavaruja Parivaru. Quote, I offer my obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev. The dust is like Suruchi, full with fragrance and love. It is like Sanjeevani medicine that destroys the disease of material existence. And it goes ahead. Guru bina bhavanidhi tarahina koi jo birachi sankara samahoi. Srila Gurudev is a bridge between a jiva and Krishna. A human being is born from mother and father, but a jiva is delivered only and only by your divine kripa, at Guru Kripa. Srila Gurudev, merely by reading about your preaching and adventures around the world, one can learn Guru Nishtha, Guru Prema, and tremendous dedication unto the lotus feet of your spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. You are a living inspiration for every one of us, Srila Gurudev. Please bless us. Dear spiritual master, please accept a humble offering of Sannyasa Suktam by the students of Sandipani Gurukul, whom you named last year. You initiated the name, and please accept this Sannyasa Suktam from all the students of Sandipani Muni Gurukul. Na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyagena ke amritatvamanacho parena nakam vehetam goayam vibrajate tasyatayo veshante yoga yataya shuddha sattva te brahma loke tu parantakare paramrutat parimuchyante sarve Braham vipapam paramesma bhutan yat pundarekam puramadya sangatam tatra pedraham gaganam vishokastasmin yadantassadupasitavyam yo Vedante cha pratishtita tasya prakritilenasya ya parasya maheshwara Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Srila Swami Maharaj ki. Srila Gurudev, last year we had 15 students, and this year we have grown to 55 and 57. So we are operating in all around the world with your divine blessings, Srila Gurudev. Like to conclude this humble offering. We're falling short of the time. Please bless us, Srila Gurudev, and please forgive our offenses unto your lotus feet. Please bless the students and please bless this mission to Srila Gurudev. This mission is just unto your service and to serve Srila Prabhupada. Please Gurudev, please bless us. We wish you a very, very happy 72nd Vyasa Puja celebration. Jai Srila Gurudev. Swami Maharaj ki.
Jai. Thank you so much, Nishkinchan Swarup Prabhu. And I would request all the future speakers to just limit themselves to 3 minutes. This would enable all the ones that we have planned to provide the offerings. I would request next to Kanjan Lochan Prabhu from Nepal to come forward and speak his offerings in less than 3 minutes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dear Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. On this most auspicious occasion of your 72nd Vyasa Puja celebration, I have been given this opportunity to speak of your glories. Though I utterly feel unqualified to be in your presence, but your pleasure drives me here. It is by the kind mercy of Vaishnavas who have shortlisted me so that I can share some of my insignificant realization as an offering to you, which, if pleases you, guarantees my purification for certain. In a limited time span, to even attempt to speak of your glories is sheer foolishness. Even Ananta says is still unable to fully comprehend the glories of the Lord from time immemorial. And what we speak of your glories, who is Sakshat Haritvena, the spiritual master who is to be honored as much as the Supreme Lord, because he is the most confidential servitor of the Lord. Nevertheless, I would love to be considered as a fool in front of you for my attempt to speak of your glories, because it pleases you the most. For an instance, what can a dog speak about the glories of his master? Rather, it simply barks and jumps in front of the master, and that pleases the master. Though when a dog renders some valuable service to his master, then that pleases the master most. Therefore, considering my position as that of a dog, kindly be pleased and be merciful unto your lowly servant, hoping to render some valuable service unto you by becoming a good devotee and a disciple. Because only by the mercy of the spiritual master one receives the benediction of Krishna, and without the grace of the spiritual master one cannot make any advancement. I was wondering where to start from and what to speak of your glories, which I really feel, and not just do some parroting. When we speak what we feel, then even a single word sorry or thank you can touch the heart of others Unlike if there is no feelings, then even one may speak pages after pages, but cannot touch the heart of others. I was intrigued by the word disciple and had this thought in me that what is a disciple like? Or rather, what does it mean to be a disciple? You have thousands of disciples all over the world, but do I qualify myself? I really wanted to have a better understanding of it, more than just going through some yeke ceremony, got yourself a new name, and then you become a disciple. I do not think it is as simple as that. The very meaning of disciple comes from the word discipline, and there is much more. Example is higher than precept, so here I find no better person to relate on this than your humble self, who actually epitomize what is a disciple like. By following the instruction of your spiritual master as life and soul, with no ulterior motives, and having full faith and conviction, giving up all one's material attachments and conceptions. You showed by your own example that till the time we are completely hopeless from this world and reach to the point of Bhagavad Gita 2.7 in application, that it states, now I'm confused about my duty and I have lost all composure because of weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. Now I'm your disciple and a soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. Until then, one cannot surrender or submit seriously to the spiritual master, and there is no meaning of such a disciple. Unless one is not committed to follow, there is no point of accepting a spiritual master and neither calling oneself as a disciple. It is said that Sukadev Goswami is a perfect spiritual master and Parikshit Maharaj a perfect disciple, because both were glorifying the Lord by speaking and hearing respectively. Most importantly, as a disciple, Parikshit Maharaj was inquiring submissively from his spiritual master, as explained in Bhagavad Gita 4.34, which states, just try to learn the truth by approaching the spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Though there was no formal initiation ceremony as we think of, like Yajna ceremony or giving of new name between Sukadev Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, but I noticed something in the synonym of Upadekshanti te Jnanam, where Srila Prabhupada translates as, they, referring to spiritual master, will initiate you into knowledge. This gave me the clear understanding of what exactly initiation means and what are the prerequisites for initiation, apart from formal documents that we need these days. It is actually something transcendental, the divine arrangement, a heart-to-heart connection between the spiritual master and the disciple. This was very evident from your life too, that how you were in search of absolute truth, a better alternative to this material world where there is only happiness and no suffering. There is a whole lot of pastime which will take time to narrate here, but the moment you heard about Srila Prabhupada from His Holiness Vishnujan Swami Maharaj, you are totally convinced that this is the person whom you want to follow all your life long, till eternity. You too had a feeling within your heart that Srila Prabhupada is my spiritual master. That very moment you consider yourself as a disciple of His divine grace. Later you were formally initiated by Srila Prabhupada through a transcendental telegram. To accept the spiritual master means to accept his will through and through, as Arjuna did in Bhagavad Gita 18.73. My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy, and I am now firm and free from doubt and prepared to act according to your instructions. And that is what inspires me more in particular, your faith on the words of your spiritual master, which keeps you going till now against all the ordeals. That very instruction, preach boldly and have faith in the holy name, is as deep within your heart as your life and soul. Indeed, you truly exemplify the verse from Svetasvatara Upanishad 6.23, Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tasyate kathitahi artha prakasante mahatmana. Unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master, all the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. And the rest is history, which we are fortunate enough to witness. As Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 12.2, that those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshiping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect. Your deity worship is the very proof of this statement, that how you are the living scripture, a person Bhagavata, an Acharya who teaches by his own example, and there is no second thought to it. And what endears us more about you is that not only you preach boldly, but also practice the teachings very boldly, especially your non-compromising sadhana of daily hearing, reading, chanting, and attending to the morning evening arati program. The spiritual world is down and there in your altar, or more precisely to say, in your heart, which if possible, you could have teared off your chest and showed us like that of Hanuman. Furthermore, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 12.13-14, that perfectly suits your personality, one who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from the false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-control, and engaged in devotional service with determination. His mind and intelligence fix on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Indeed, you are dear to all of us. Once you made the statement in one of the classes that you still want to go out and praise and share the glories of the Lord to anyone and everyone, despite the current pandemic situation, because you really understood the purport of which Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur made to Srila Prabhupada, that the only problem in this world is lack of Krishna consciousness, and the only solution is Krishna consciousness. So you do feel the need and urgency of Krishna consciousness, which is evident from your very life, and that you have dedicated in assisting your spiritual master with a desire to be the last man standing until the mission is accomplished. Without a doubt, a perfect disciple has turned out to be a perfect master. As often Srila Prabhupada quoted that only a good student can be a good teacher. There is a popular Nepali saying, Hune biruwako chillopat, no hune biruwako khasropat, which means if the seed is good, there will be slick leaves. If the seed is bad, there will be rough leaves. So from the very beginning, you showed the symptoms of a Mahatma, as explained in the purport of Bhagavad Gita 9:13. The first sign of the Mahatma is that he is already situated in the divine nature. Such a Mahatma or great soul, as your humble self, develops through association with other Mahatmas, pure devotees, as Srila Prabhupada. Once Mother Sitala asked you how you felt after your first Harinam, and you said that, I could do this forever. And with no surprise, you are doing this for last 50 plus years, as if like it was just yesterday, and hoping forevermore. I still reminisce the silver spoon pastimes, your Sankirtan and book marathon pastimes, traveling monk diaries pastimes, drum along the Amazon pastimes, festival of India pastimes, Kartik Yatra pastimes, and cherry on the top being the online classes, which is the essence of everything. As described in Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 3rd chapter, verse 20, because pure devotees who no longer have any material desires surrender fully to the lotus feet of the Lord. They always merge in the ocean of bliss by chanting and hearing the Lord's holy name. Therefore, being of his transcendental nature, it is equally beneficial to hear the glories and pastimes of pure devotees as that of the Lord. Glorifying the Lord and glorifying the Lord's devotees are the same, or rather, glorifying the devotee is more important than glorifying the Lord directly. Narottam Das Thakur explains this fact. Chhadiya Vaishnava Seva Nishtarapaya Chakeva. One cannot be liberated from material contamination without sincerely serving a devotee of Krishna. Whoever comes in your contact, it is hard not to believe that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that there is really a spiritual world where every word is a song, every step is a dance, and every day is a festival day. Because by your grace, we are able to experience the very same spiritual world in this earthly realm. I'm more than fortunate to have you as my spiritual master, but at the same time feel unfortunate for not being able to make the most out of it. However, my only hope is that you'll never forsake me and always keep me under your prayers. I will try not to make it hard to you this time by trying to regularly follow the process of bhakti, the science of devotional service, under the strict guidance of a bona fide spiritual master who is regularly monitoring and training us here. In one of the conversations, Srila Prabhupada said that, why this farce? I belong to Krishna consciousness movement, I'm initiated, I'm a disciple of such and such, but not committed to follow the process as it is. I too do not want to be a farce or a sobotu. I simply wish to be the exemplary disciples of yours as you are to Srila Prabhupada. Only then one can do the real glorification, that is by applying and living according to the teachings of a spiritual master, just as your very life is glorification to Srila Prabhupada. Let my whole body, mind, and words be completely absorbed in your glories. And with this meditation, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koriya Aikya Arana Kori Homani Asha Arana Kori Homani Asha. I submit myself onto the dust of your lotus feet. Thank you, your servant now and forever, Kanjalochan Das. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Kanjalochan Prabhu. Dear devotees, just been informed that Srila Gurudev has a couple of appointments with the doctors. As you all know, that he is undergoing certain medications and also treatment. So we will be picking and choosing some top 3 or 5 devotees only, because we have to be considerate about the time and recuperation of Srila Gurudev. Of course, this is not a reflection of any favoritism. This is just a request from Srila Gurudev, and we are here to follow his orders. So we would be limiting these offerings to next 5 devotees, and they would be as follows. I would request now Mataji from Indonesia to step up and speak. It will be Natweshwari Priya Mataji. I request you from Bali to speak, and please keep your offerings to 3 minutes only, so that there are the other 5 can speak as well. And apologies to all others. Please kindly take this request. Hare Krishna. Nateshwari Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Haridas Varya Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudeva. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji. Please go ahead.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. Dear Srila Gurudev, living in a big restless world can be depressing, especially for my young, agitated mind. But attending your lecture a few years back in Bali was such a great relief and great fortune for me. When I see and hear from you, I'm convinced of Krishna. Dear Srila Gurudev, hope you are doing well. Thank you for bringing Krishna consciousness far and wide. As you told in one of your lecture, how Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur marked Srila Prabhupada. I'm sure in the same way you are marked by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has given to the world the key to enter the Dham, and you, out of kindness, guide us wandering the Dham, Sri Vrindavan. Dear Srila Gurudev, as a flight passenger trusts their pilot, and as a baby is so dependent on their mother, let me, a passenger on your transcendental train, fully trust you and take your words as my life guidance. Dear Srila Gurudev, whenever I feel unmotivated to read or chant my rounds, I always remember when you said, I will always be there for you. And I'm forever grateful for that, for you. I'm now taking shelter under your lotus feet. Please accept me and don't reject me. And I would like to thank Shama Govinda Prabhu, Narottam Das Prabhu, Rangadevi Mataji from South Africa, and Gaura Premi Mataji from Russia. Their love to you and sincere service never fail to inspire me. And I'm looking forward to join Parikram with you and to serve you like them. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Indradyumna Swamini Tinamine. Nama Prabhupada Dasaya Jagannath Yatananda Murtaya. Bhakta Sukaya Krishna Kirtanina Narasinghena Rakshitaya Namaha. In your service always, Nateswari Priya Devidas. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Nateshwari Mataji, for that wonderful offering. Now I would request Rajabandali Mataji from Dubai to make her offering. And after that, I request Bhakti Nikita to be ready. She's an aspirant.
Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Am I audible? Just checking quickly. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Indratimna Swami Niti Namane. Namaste Prabhupada Priyadasya Jagannath Yatrananda Murte Bhakti Sukhaya Krishna Kirtane Nrsimha Rakshate Nama. Dear Srila Gurudev, as I sit down to pen my offering to you, I'm flooded with gratitude and reminded of the fact that I'm a mercy case, totally made up of your mercy. And this mercy of yours has no bounds, dear Gurudev. You are the personification of Mahaprabhu's immortal instruction, Yare dekha tare kaha Krishna Upadesh. There is never a bad situation or unqualified soul in your vision. Be it the Sicilian mob boss or Kunti Devi, the little dog near His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj's house. You love and you share the mercy of the holy name alike. Neither ill health nor scary borders have ever interrupted your bold and unalloyed preaching. Srila Prabhupada explains that Acharya means one who knows the intricacies of Vedic knowledge, and he personally behaves in terms of that knowledge. You, my dear Srila Gurudev, are the personification of this definition, a perfect saint who loves all, preaches to all, tolerates all hardships, and yet remains humble, to never take any credit and pass it all to Guru Gauranga and sadhus. As you already know, Gurudev, I am the most worthless and unqualified of the lot, and your glories are deep and endless like the ocean. But for my very purification, I have tried to pen down my broken words. Please forgive my shortcomings. I would like to end by offering all and any services that I have performed at your lotus feet. And the one that I've held closest to my heart is trying to serve my children and my family to the best of my capacity, and with Krishna, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra in the center. As this has been one of your most consistent instructions to me, I fail many, many times, but your mercy keeps me afloat and gives me hope. Thank you, dearest Gurudev, for everything, especially for gracing our home in 2019. It has been the highlight of our years and our lives, especially the mercy that you bestowed on little Rishabhanavi. She treasures your mercy, the memories, and especially the gifts, which are her most prized possessions. And it's not only for this lifetime, it's for way beyond. And words will always fall short to express our gratitude that we feel for you and Srila Prabhupada, and we are praying for your health, dearest Gurudev, your most worthless servant Rajamandali Dasi, and her whole family. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Rajamandali Mataji. I would now request Bhakti Nikita. She has been helping us with the transcription services. Very quickly, if you can make your short offering.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev, Dandvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances unto your lotus feet. Am I audible?
Yes, Nikita, please go ahead.
Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Srila Irnandimna Swaminiti Namane Nama Prabhupada Priya Dasaya Jagannath Yatra Nandamurtaye Bhakta Sakhaya Krishna Kirtanena Narsimha Rakshitaye Namaha. This is Bhakti Nikita, and I am an aspiring disciple of yours, Srila Gurudev, from Mumbai, India. On this auspicious day, I want to thank you for all that you do, and I pray for your good health. It is a very interesting episode of how I first had your darshan. I would like to share it quickly. It was back in December 2017 when our YouTube we had visited the Vrindavan Dham for the first time. We were sitting and offering our prayers at the Radha Gopinath temple, and we could hear distantly some kirtan going on. And on finding out immediately, as soon as we got to know that it was you, we quickly ran from the temple and we reached Shri Shri Radha Ramana temple to witness the ecstatic kirtan that was being performed by you. I was awestruck by your presence, and I had the greatest fortune of my life to have your darshan there. I want to thank you for changing my life, as it is because of you that I have realized the importance of Krishna consciousness. You're that ray of sunshine and hope who can remove the darkness of ignorance and pride from my heart. You are the illumination of innumerable hearts. I admire you for the dedicated service you render to your eternal spiritual master and the pleasure of the lordships. You guide fallen souls like me and inspire me to perform my sadhana bhakti more intensely. You are the best wisher to all beings, and I am eagerly waiting to be in your association and to hear the Lord's glories from you. I am happy to contribute to the services with the help of the senior devotees, even in the smallest way possible, and I wish to serve the Lord more and more. I am eternally grateful to you for showing me the right path, irrespective of my eligibility. Please continue to give me your mercy so that I forever remain in your and the Lord's service. Kindly bestow your blessings upon me to help me serve you, Srila Gurudev, and the Lord in my best capacity. All glories to you, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Hari Bol. Thank you, Srila Gurudev.
Thank you, Bhakti Nikita. Thank you very much. Srila Gurudev, now we have one last speaker, Karan Vig, who's also an aspirant. He is just a 30-second offering, so he requested us to squeeze it in.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. I'm your aspirant son from Jaipur, the land of Radha Govind Dev Ji, where you always come and visit. I've just been waiting for like current 2 years in these pandemic times, but obviously attached with you with your lectures and everything. And during all the precedented times when all senior disciples of Srila Prabhupada were not there, and I could see tears rolling down your eyes. I was like totally helpless to see everything, and but your lectures were the only thing which really kept me dedicated towards your services and all. And thank you so much, Gurudev, for sending me messages through Vajra for the installation of my Narsingadev deity as well. I always look forward for your blessings for them. And with your mercy, Gurudev, I'll be doing my next fashion shows in Jaipur and London as well. And I always take pleasure in designing and dressing you for the upcoming future years. Thank you so much, Gurudev, and look forward to see you very soon in Jaipur in our home as well. Thank you, Srila Gurudev, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak, because otherwise I was really in tears that I could not speak. So thank you so much. I cannot just say, I cannot just put in my words. Looking forward to get sheltered and under your succession disciple. Thank you so much, Gurudev. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you, Karan Vikru. Gurudev, it seems like it was a transcendental arrangement that we knew that we will be running short. So we requested two special speakers who are very, very close to your heart. They sent in their videos. We wanted to keep it as a surprise for you, and they miss you. And when they sent in the videos, we thought that why have they sent it so short? Maybe you guided them and told them to keep it short. And they have sent these beautiful videos. And we request Sham Govind Prabhu to put the first one, who are close to you, who travel with you to Poland, and their whole troop is wishing you a very happy Vyasa Puja. This is from the Sankhya group.
Hari Bol! Pranam Gurudev. I'm sure this finds you in the best of health.
We all are missing Poland Indian Festival and looking forward to see you all soon.
Wish
you many
happy
returns of the day.
Happy birthday!
So Srila Gurudev, that was Sankhya group missing you totally, and the Polish Yatra. And while we moved to Poland, we also went to one of the most dearest friend of yours, who gave you a lot of protective shlokas. He's not doing well, and he's hoping for a phone call from you. This is coming from Sri Rangam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams. How are you, Prabhu? I miss you a lot here. Yesterday, your disciple came here and had shown some photos during your visit to Srirangam and Goburapatti. It was all rare and golden memories to me. I never forget your affection and your blessings. Seeking your blessings till my death. Thank you, Prabhu.
So that was Murali Bhattar from Sri Rangam, and he also sent his offerings to you. Srila Gurudev, with your permission, we have the last 2 minutes, and I would like to make my final offering. and we can conclude if that's acceptable. Okay. Thank you, Srila Gurudev. First and foremost, at the outset, millions of dandavats at your lotus feet. Before I begin my offering, I would like to thank you for being present today, in spite of all these hardships. I'd like to also pay my respectful obeisances to the Vaishnavas and the Vaishnavis assembled here, God brothers, God sisters. And I know, Srila Gurudev, you have multiple busy schedules and you have been actively preaching in the forefront. But as they say in Srimad Bhagavatam, that greatest devotee and persons like you move from one place to another, not for your own interests, but for the sake of poor-hearted grihasthas. And hence we have seen that you have no other interest from going from one Zoom call to another just to keep blessing us. And we wish you a very good health. And on this particular day, though my offering was long, but I would like to keep it short. I just want to give you a simple shloka which I made. I'm not as esoteric and scholarly like Hari Parshad Prabhu, but I tried my level best tweaking some Sanskrit here and there. And this is what I would like to just offer a shloka to you. And with that, I will conclude my offering. It says, Pujantam Krishna Krishneti, Maduram Krishna Kirtanam, Aruhya Bhaktim Shakam, Vande Srila Indradumna Kokilam. So this says that I pay my humble obeisances unto the cuckoo-like bird who is known as Indradumna Swami, who is always cooing from the branch of the tree called as Bhakti with sweet kirtans involving the names of Krishna. Kujantam Krishna Krishneti Maduram Krishna Kirtanam Aruhya Bhaktim Shakham Vande Srila Indradumna Kokilam. So with that, we would like to submit our humble offerings, and also we would like to ask for your forgiveness if there were any shortcomings or if there were any mistakes in the program. We as the core team members and a group of devotees try to do our best. At the same time, we would like to also apologize to all the extended God brothers, God sisters. What we would do is we would collect all your offerings together. We are creating a book and we will publish them in the book and give it to Srila Gurudev. That would be also a way of offering, which will remain eternally with Srila Gurudev in the form of a book. Gurudev, over to you to provide us with the concluding words, and then we can wrap up.
I'd like to thank the devotees who spoke and those who didn't speak. We know your hearts because you're our children, and you're very faithful on this path, in this progress of Krishna consciousness. I thank you for your loyalty and the services that you're doing for myself and our GBC and our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. That's very evident in the fact, number one, you're still here. That's something special actually in this world. Daiviyesha Gunamayi Mamamaya Duratya. Krishna says this divine energy is very difficult to overcome, but one who surrenders unto me can easily overcome it. So the fact that you have great opposition in the form of the material energy, but you're still chanting, you're still reading, you're still preparing prasadam, you're still associating with devotees, that's monumental. And we congratulate you on that. And whatever more you can do in helping to spread this great movement, that's greatly appreciated. Don't feel sad that you couldn't personally read your offering to me. When the compilation of all the offerings come in the book form, then I'll sit down in a quiet place, like either in the morning or in the evening when everything's more quiet, and I'll read each and every offering, knowing that it's coming from you individually. So don't think, oh, I didn't get to read the Gurudev. I mean, I'll meditate on it more perhaps when I'm just in a quiet place and I can read your offering in that nice atmosphere. So don't feel discouraged. I do have some appointments that have come up this afternoon, which I have to attest to. But it's been short but sweet. We've been able to see each other. I very carefully went through all of the photos on the screen. There were three levels, so I looked at everybody, even if it was just your name. So we've had some Vapu here today, almost Vapu. Vapu means personal association. So this is about 93% Vapu. But we all sent instructions. I can see from your offerings that, you're taking the instructions to heart, you're becoming spiritually advanced. And that's the greatest joy of the spiritual father, to see his children making nice progress in Krishna consciousness. And you got to hear me address all of you personally, as Asian, Nepalese, and Indian yatras, where I spend most of my life, actually. Most of my time is here in these countries. So I think that says something to all of you. And we look forward to seeing you again sooner than later. So just keep hankering for all these Krishna conscious things. And thank you very much for this afternoon. And yeah, we're always together anyway, so there's no question of separation. We're all on the same page. We're all in the same mission. We're all always serving Srila Prabhupada, Gauranga, and Radhe Shyam. So there's no question of separation. And I'll be in touch. I made a recording this morning about Pavana Sarovara. I don't know, I'm very busy here in Delhi for the moment. I don't know how I put it together, but I did. And I hope you will enjoy it. It's going to come out on Tuesday. Yeah. The glories of Pavana Sarovara. This is my contribution to all of you. It's an expression of all my love for you, is the knowledge that I share with you that I've gotten from Prabhupada and the previous acharyas, which will make you happy in this world and blissful in the spiritual world. So we'll finish here. Thank you, everybody. And yeah, we'll keep in touch. All glories to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Indrajimna Swami Maharaj Gurudeva Ki.
Jai.
Jai, jai,
Jai Srila Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev ki jai.
Gurudev ki jai.
Humble obeisance to Srila Gurudev.
Haribol.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. All the devotees. Once again, apologies for not accommodating everyone. But I just wanted to say that this book is already, we are compiling this book. So please send in your offerings. Your each and every offering is getting compiled and in a very, very beautiful format put together by His Grace Gopakumar Prabhu. So please do not feel discouraged. Please send in your offerings to vyasapuja.sgidsm@gmail.com, and so that we can also include, and as Srila Gurudev said, he can read these offerings offline. So we will not publish this yet. We will wait for another 15 days to send your offerings, post which we will give this book printed to Srila Gurudev. Once again, thank you everyone for joining this stream today. And once again, humble apologies from the core team if we have not been able to accommodate you or not been able to serve you for speaking before Srila Gurudev. We will all say Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha and beg for any forgiveness, and then we will close for right. Amartam Prabhu wants to speak something. Prabhu, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Screen Varthi Gala.
Yes, Prabhuji, you are now on.